Hey guys, Jose here from Baseball Strong. Sorry I couldn't make it to the studio today. As you know, the weather's bad. I hope you're keeping warm, stay safe, and don't get out if you don't have to. But in the meantime, check out this video. It's a total body lift. I hope it helps. Take care.
What's up guys, Dr. Leek here and Jose Vazquez. We're here in the gym today to show you what a full body lift looks like. We've talked about this before in our podcasts, and it's a quick, convenient way to exercise the whole body, and you can do that 2 or 3 times a week to get the maximum benefit. So I brought in the professional Jose. Thank you for being here, and I guess I'm ready to work out a little bit today.
All right. Hey guys, one of our favorite sayings here at Eclipse is function over pain. So what we want to teach you guys today, what we want to communicate today is what a functional workout looks like. And we're going to take Dr. Leek here through a set of exercises, and we want to get you guys to understand that our goal for fitness is to get you to be ready for life, to be able to do all the daily activities that you do at home, at work, in the yard, wherever you go, whatever you do. The whole goal of fitness should be for you to be able to function and do whatever you want to do in your life. Over my career as a strength coach, one of my favorite things that I learned was a 5-step way of designing a program. Normally, everyday life, we do 5 movements. We push, we pull, we squat, we hinge or bend over, and we use our core in twisting movements and reaching movements. And that is a format that I fell in love with and I use for my athletes for many, many years. It worked for everyone from Little League to Major League. And now I want to share that format with you. Okay? So the first exercise we're going to do, we're going to go over a pushing movement. Pushing, right? Pushing heavy doors, pushing a car, pushing a cart. There's many pushing movements that we perform on a daily basis. And the first exercise we're going to do is an incline press. It is good for chest, shoulders, arms. And Dr. Leek here is going to be kind enough.
Now for those of you watching, just keep in mind I have a desk job, so your kindness is appreciated. Here we go. All right, going straight up?
Yeah, straight up. Just push it straight up. Give me 5. All right, now bring it to your chest and kind of roll it to your, and then onto your waist. All right, and just go ahead and set it on the side. Perfect. Bench press is probably the most popular exercise among men. We all want to know how much you bench. Most men like to bench with the bar, but if you don't have a bar, a great alternative is a dumbbell bench press. One thing to keep in mind is when you have dumbbells, you always have to coordinate and balance the weight. And you want to make sure that you want to have a weight that you can handle and both arms are moving at the same time, at the same speed. You don't want one arm going this way and the other one that way. Also, if you start feeling strong and you want to push yourself and you think you want to challenge yourself, make sure you get someone to help you, someone to get behind you and perhaps give you a little tap on the elbows, help you guide the weight, keep the weight in line. And if it gets too heavy, perhaps grab the wrist. I'm going to demonstrate a few of those techniques just in case. All right, so go ahead and lift the weight. So I place my hands right about the elbow, above the elbow, and as it goes down, I just go down with him. All I'm doing is just going up and down with him. I'm not pushing him, I'm not doing anything. If he gets stuck, then I can help him and help him push up so that he can finish the rep. Now, if we're dealing with heavy weight and he gets really stuck, then I'm going to go from the elbow to the wrist. So go ahead and go down. And then if he gets stuck, I'm going to squeeze his wrist and give him support and help him pull it up and then help him guide it down. And then I'm going to help 1 or 2 more reps. When we think we're done, we're going to bring the dumbbells back to the chest. Bring them back to the chest. I'm going to help him hold them here. and then I'll help him get it to his waist. And once he gets it to his waist, he can just dump him to the side if he needs to. Perfect. The next exercise, or the next movement is pulling, okay? How many times do we go to the grocery store? We gotta reach in the cart. We're gonna pull a grocery bag. We're gonna bend down, pull a bag of mulch or anything like that. So one exercise is the bent row. What we're going to do here, I'm gonna place my hand on the bench, reach down for my dumbbell. This leg is gonna be back a little bit. My back is flat. And I'm gonna bring the dumbbell to my stomach or to the side of my body. And I'm gonna pull, just like I would be pulling a lawnmower. Okay? All right, now I'm gonna have Dr. Leek do it.
All right. I put my knee here?
Nope.
Nope.
Well, not for that one, but you could, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, bring your legs back a little bit. There you go. You want to have this space here for the dumbbell to go up and down. Flatten your back a little bit. There you go. Head straight. Good. Looking down. No, don't look up. There you go.
Okay.
Go ahead, right there. Now pull it. Good. Slow it down a little bit. Control it. Okay. Make sure you let down so you get a full stretch here and then full contraction up here. There you go. And that right there is a pulling movement. The next movement is a squatting movement, right? Squatting is very, very popular in everything that we do. When you get in and out of a car, in and out of a chair, sit on the toilet, when you're outside doing landscaping, you gotta squat down, grab a rock, grab a bag of mulch, you're in a squatting pattern. Good way, easy way is anything that resembles any kind of weight, in this case a dumbbell. We can do that same movement. Now, we're using power blocks, so it's kind of a box type of dumbbell, so it's a very good tool for this type of squat we're going to talk about today. So pick it up, grab it in a way that is comfortably in your hand, keep it close to your chest, spread your feet a little bit, and then squat down. Go as low as you can go. Not everybody has the flexibility, so if you're stuck here, stay there. If you feel like you're really tight, perhaps use a chair or use a bench, and with the weight, just go ahead and sit on it and come back up. All right, now I'm gonna have Dr. Leek demonstrate the squat. All right, just go ahead and grab it a little more comfortable. Put your hands right here. There you go. All right, as long as you're hugging it tight. There you go.
Are my heels coming off the ground?
Nope. So one of the things we want to do is, as best we can, we want to keep our heels on the ground. Sometimes we don't have the flexibility. Sometimes we have ankle issues. Sometimes we have hip issues. All kinds of different things that might prevent us to keep the heel down. So one thing we could do is perhaps point your toes out a little bit, widen your stance. All right, try it again. Perhaps that gives you a little bit more range of motion at the hip, a little more range of motion at the ankle. Okay, but let's say that doesn't work. All right, let's say that doesn't work very well for you. Another alternative is go ahead and move over to the bench over here, and then move back closer to the bench. And then all I'm gonna have you do is sit up and down. Just sit on the bench, and then come back up. That's just as good as any other squat, okay? Perfect. All right, go ahead and put it down.
Nice.
Squat is a very common movement that we do in everyday life. Obviously, if you're training for powerlifting, there's technique to it. There's a lot of preparation. There's a lot of practice for it. But for everyday life, so that we are safe when we get on and off the toilet, cars, chairs, whatever, all we really want to have is a comfortable wide stance and be able to bend at the hips and use our legs to get up and down. Because a lot of times as we get older and we forget to use our legs, we begin to use our low back to get on and off chairs to make those transfers. So as long as when we're squatting or sitting, we're using our legs, we want to keep our back straight. What we want to avoid is this move, where we just bend over and plop down on the chair. And if you do that long enough, what you're going to do is you're going to overstress your low back, and your legs, your quads, which should be lifting you, are going to get weak. So that's the key feature of doing a bodyweight squat or a squat for fitness, is to be able to make sure that you're using your quads and your glutes and you're avoiding undue stress on the low back. The fourth movement is the hinge or bending over. Bending over can at times be a bad thing, but if you do it correctly and with good form, it could be a safe way to bend over and reach for objects on the floor, okay? So the next move is we're gonna hinge or bend, and what we wanna do is we want the movement at the hips. That's why we call it a hinge, like the hinge on a door. We want to hinge here and bend here. We do not want to bend at the lumbar spine or the low back, because that is the most common mechanism of injury for low back when people are reaching for the floor or lifting, is because they bend at the lumbar spine instead of their hips. Okay. Next move we're going to do is it's called the Romanian deadlift. I don't know why they call it that, but that's what they call it. So basically, what it is, you have a weight on the ground, whether you're using dumbbells or a bar. You want to get in a stance where you can get as close to the object as you can. When you bend at the hips. You want to bend here, your back is straight. The knees are soft. You don't necessarily want to bend them on purpose, but you don't want to be completely extended because your hamstrings get in the way. So what you're going to do is you're going to bend at the waist, reach for the object. I want to keep my head lined up with my shoulder and my hip. So this is a line right here. I don't want to be extending my neck because that puts pressure here, that puts pressure here. I want to make sure that all of this is relaxed and all the tension is here. I'm going to reach down and I'll lift. Okay. Now, this is one of those tricky movements. It takes some time to get used to bending over and using your hips. So Dr. Leek is going to demonstrate, and let's see how he does.
This is my first time doing a Romanian deadlift. Let's see what we can do.
Okay, go back down. Okay, all right, let's do a few quick fixes here. Bring the weight closer together. Bring them together. There you go. All right, get close to the weight. No, don't pick it up yet. Okay. Move your feet closer to the weight. There you go. Right there, perfect. Your knees are bent. You're a lot taller than me, so you gotta kind of accommodate. All right, so head is fine, back is straight. No, keep the head there, and then now try to lift from here. There you go. And then maintain that posture. There you go. Good.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
As you can see, he's keeping his head, shoulder, and hip in line. He's a lot taller than me, so he's got to make an adjustment. He's got to take his hips backwards a little bit more than I did because I'm a little shorter.
So with those of you with low back pain, I actually have a bad disc myself at L5S1 by lifting something at Home Depot the wrong way, probably with my back and not with my hips. But actually this exercise is protecting my back, so I don't feel any issues with that. So in case you're wondering at home, if you do it right, this should keep the back nice and safe. Does that work?
Perfect. For everyone out there who wants to try this exercise, it's a little tricky to get the idea of bending here or hinging here, okay? But it is very important because it is something that we constantly do. We are constantly picking up stuff around the house and we just don't think about it and just reach down. I've heard many stories over the years, players, regular people. I was reaching for a shoe. I was reaching for something on the floor while I was sitting on the toilet. I was reaching for this, and I blew my back out. Obviously, that didn't happen then. It was cumulative, and it was probably coming, but that was the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. So this is such a crucial movement because we constantly do this around the house. We're constantly bending over and reaching. So if you're going to reach for something, that move right here is crucial. Now, another alternative for those kind of things is perhaps if you're going to reach something, put one leg back and then reach and pick up the object. That's still somewhat considered a deadlift or a hinge movement, but when you bend over there, at this point, your back is stable, your back is straight, and it's safe. So the idea is to always protect the back by using the legs and by moving the correct joints when you reached for the floor. So perhaps some of you guys tried the regular way and it doesn't work. This is a modification that you can build up to so that you can reach the floor with this movement. So perhaps put the dumbbell or the object on a table or a bench, and then you set yourself up the same way. Make sure your head, shoulder, and hips are straight. I'm gonna take my hips back. I'm gonna put my hands on the object, and I'm just gonna pull from here. Yeah, sometimes we either don't have the technique or the hamstring flexibility to do the movement. So elevate the object so that you can perform the movement at least 1/4 of the way. The fifth movement is carry. When I say carry, meaning carrying groceries, carrying bags, carrying anything. One of the things that we underestimate is the function of our core in posture, in lifting, in daily activities. Sometimes we forget that we're using our core when we're standing, we're using our core when we're sitting, we're using our core when we're carrying groceries. So one simple exercise, we do it every day, is the farmer's carry. One of the things that you can do is gallon of water, gallon of milk, anything heavy that you can carry at the side, you pick it up and you walk for distance, you walk for time. You can do marching in place. Anytime I put an object in my hand, I am working on core. Another thing that we sometimes forget is sitting. When we're sitting for long periods, our muscles get tired, we lose focus, and we slouch. When we slouch, that means that our muscles are no longer functioning to stabilize our neck, our spine, and now we're getting bone-on-bone contact in most places, and we're going to create pain because of the bad posture. So our core is very important for sitting, for standing. You often hear people talk about my back hurts when I'm standing, my back hurts when I'm sitting. Most of that is because we have a weak core. So one of the simple ways that we can train our core is by doing farmer's carries. When we pick up an object, walk for time, walk for distance. You can do 2 kettlebells, so you can do 2 dumbbells. You can get a sack of potatoes, you can get a sandbag, put it over your shoulder, carry it around. All that stuff is working my core. We can use a dumbbell, or we can use a gallon of milk. Hang it at the side, walk for time, walk for distance. There you go, you're working your core.
Hey, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Closing, we want to give you a few parameters so that you can put this together in a weekly program. One simple way to look at it is 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Always having a day of rest between resistance exercises is, for the most part, a good thing. Start out with 2 sets of 10 repetitions with a weight that you can handle. When I mean a weight that you can handle, a weight that you can talk and breathe, and you're able to at least do it where your 8th and 9th and 10th rep are going to be moderately difficult. Also, in between sets, You might want to rest a minute. So do one exercise, rest 1 minute, do the next exercise. You can do it each exercise alone, or you can do it in a circuit style where you do the first exercise followed by the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and the fifth one, and then go back to the top. So you can do it multiple different ways, but simple recommendations would be 3 times a week. Try not to make the workout longer than 30 minutes. A couple of sets of 10 for each exercise with 1 minute rest.
Wow, that sounds really easy, Jose. Is it that simple?
If you do it, it is. That's what people say. Is that going to work? If you do it. If you do it.
Yeah, so 30 minutes a day, total body workout.
Yes.
That seems pretty reasonable. I don't have to dedicate an hour to chest, an hour to legs, an hour to core.
Yes.
We can get everything done, in and out, back to life, feeling strong, ready to go.
Yes. It is a very misunderstood way of fitness. People think that when they talk about workouts, they have to have splits where they do arms one day and legs another day. And if you're a bodybuilder and you have plenty of time and plenty of money, then yes, that by all means. But we're all busy. We got kids. We got jobs. All we really need to do is prepare our bodies for everyday life. This gives you a good format on how to do that. If you challenge yourself, use adequate weight, where you want to use moderately heavy weights. You don't want to do it so light that you don't get anything out of it, but use moderately heavy weights. When you lift weights, when you do resistance training, there's always a metabolic effect that you don't get with some of the other ways of training. So when you do total body, number one, you have more of a cardio effect because you're using the whole body. You're not just using one body part. Number two, it's more efficient. 30 minutes, you're in, you're out. Eventually, because that is the way we normally function, we use our body completely. We don't just separate our fingers from our arms and shoulders and stuff like that. Our bodies respond better to total body lifts because that's the way we normally function. And the way I look at it, if it's good for athletes, it's good for you.